Hi everyone, I'm back again to illustrate how to use my book and my cards. So this is video number 5 and we'll be working on the tripod of life, which is very closely linked obviously to the Borromean rings, but anyway we're going to find out more about that. So in the first video we looked at the essence of life, that's just the I am coming from the divine. Then we looked at we are, which is co-creation, the egg of life. Then we looked at the Borromean rings, the trinities of life. So we've now added another circle, and it's our projects, our plans, our beliefs, how we keep flow in our life, me, the other, what we're going to do, who we believe in, and work, rest and play, all these things. So that came up. And now we strip it right back. And we're standing on our own 2 feet. We've got our trinities in place, and it's time to get out there and be ourselves. So this is a really interesting one. It's pretty, in a sense, it's pretty obvious what it's all about. You can see that. You actually can see the little legs standing out. So, it's a very powerful image. It packs a punch. It tells you what's going on. What's very interesting, though, is this golden triangle in here. And the golden triangle is a very important thing. They talk about it in the Fibonacci code and everything. But I also see it as a symbol for the sort of genome in science, which is the very sacred bit of ourselves that is always intact and contains all the DNA and the RNA. It'll come up because all these images are quite primeval in my book. So here we've got it again in peak performance, which will come up later on. And this is for a remedy for when you're really tired and exhausted, dog tired right down to the bone, and you need to get back to realizing that in fact you are intact and everything is okay. So the golden triangle is here, and this is actually the alchemical seal here. So it's this feeling of being the gold, and the goodness is always there. So we're going to be working on this kind of strength and perseverance, and how do we sustain that and bring that into our lives, and stand up for what we believe in. So yes, very important. What else did I write about it? Oh yes, it's a bit of a birth portal. Well, you can see that. You're kind of come together in the relationship, and you've got your plan. Right, well, it's time to give birth to this baby. But that's going to take discipline, and you're going to have to do it yourself. So it's all about being on your own without feeling lonely. And it's interesting that when I first got here to Cyprus, I use my cards in so many different ways. My book, and I sometimes open it randomly. Anyway, I took a card, I just laid them out, shuffled them, and took one, going, asking with intention, what is it I'm working on here now, right now? What do I need to look at? It could have been, oh, your relationship. No, boom. It was about stand on your own 2 feet. And that's all about telling me not to be codependent, not lean into the other person, because that can spoil a relationship. Then you can get one of the circles that we saw earlier not being supported, getting too big or too small. So we're back in a crazy 8 that's dangerous, okay, and not good for us. So it said, make sure that you do your own thing. So from that, these are the videos. That's my baby. And I'm learning so much, and it is giving me this sense of strength and perseverance. So on my level, this is how it's showed up for me. I just wanted to show you that. I just thought that was quite fun. You could see the 2 together, and then it's got the golden triangle, and then we're going to be dipping into life, joining with the flow of life, the seed of life growing into the flower of life. So I just love the way these, obviously I do, because that's something I've been exploring all my life. Okay, so, and actually this can become a kind of shield for you. You can make it into your emblem. So I'm going to show you now how I worked on it over those few weeks, and I'm still getting this one into my system and making my neural pathways wake up to the fact that, hello, this is time for you really to step forward into a new way of being. Stand up for the fact that you're not just a hat maker, you're also do crazy things with mandalas and bring it forward. Okay, so what happened next? So what did I do? I first, I kind of, I hope you can even see this actually. I just sort of painted it. I wanted it to be big. So you'll see underlyingly here, there's the shape. So that was all just painted. And then I thought, well, I would like to vision what I want to do in my life here, you know. So it became like a vision board as well. So that's really, really good fun actually. You've seen before when I've used, in the Egg of Life, I used magazines and kind of created, here it's paint and magazines. So anything goes, you know, this is not an art class about, oh, that looks pretty. No, no, no. It's all for you and what you feel will kind of anchor this into your body and your mind, okay? So, yeah, I quite like this. So I've got my male side. There's Ali lurking around over here and having a nice time. And then you've got the us. Together we love watching films. And there's a bit of sexuality there. And then there's something for the girls. Well, I have women's groups. So that's pretty primordial for me because my energy is all about creativity and getting ladies together and doing my powwow and basically expressing myself and helping, empowering ladies, you know, women to come together and share. So there's something going to come here, and that's important to me, and I love her. I love that old, wise sage creativity, that lady who's imparting her wisdom. And I'd love to be like that one day, you know, have that kind of clout in life. It'd be great. And then obviously on my side, the hair was grey at the time. I've given up on that one. But I thought she was pretty. And then we've got nature, and for some reason a bath. I don't know. Well, you know. And then the mandalas are kind of taking off over here, Cypriot style. So, but it's the reason it's standing on its own 2 feet is I wanted to create this sense of balance in the relationship to the other, but also to myself, you know. So that was the beginning of it. That was the first mandala. Okay, so then what did I do? I then, yes, did I do that secondly? Oh, it looks like I did. So then I wanted to, this is, I'm going to say advanced, but of course it's not, because you can do whatever you want, but this is an example. So I took 3 cards, so I wanted to enforce what was going on and what I wanted to look at, what were the, what's the word, the faults, what in fact my ego was grappling with in order not to go into that. So why am I having difficulties going there? So this is just an example of how I could use it. So I chose 3 cards, you know, the past, the present. So there was this one is walnut, and it's all about a focal point that's irritating you, and things aren't going, you can see the focal point there. You can see the splurgy bits coming out of the side. So maybe my focus has not been on the right thing in the past. Maybe I've been giving my energy away, or maybe I've just not been doing it. I've been lazy, not standing up for myself, or, you know, so there's, if you get rid of that, that has a great, you know, it feels a lot lighter. But that's important, that centre bit. So I put it in and gave it a twirling, kind of wanted to move it a bit and pulled it out. So I'm playing with the idea of shape and fun, you know, just having fun with it. Then the next one I chose was this one, which is for Celia, which is all about leadership and letting out tears, actually crystallized tears. So there is obviously a bit of grief, and I think in the past I have felt, you know, nervous about standing up for things and being myself, and perhaps a bit ridiculed because I do such crazy things, and, you know, maybe that's made me a bit nervous. So this I did feel was important. So you can see there kind of these end bits echoed here. So I'm mixing all these mandalas up. I'm telling my brain, you can take from all of this and pull yourself out and get it right into your system. I'm just really having fun, that's all. But, you know, these things are powerful. Then I chose this one, which is wonderful because this is for female, well, for creative female side, yin and yang. So it's for creative fulfillment, and it's for doing lots of different things. It can be for fevers. I mean, these are all based on flower remedies. Remember that. So Diana uses them for actual physical ailments. I'm using them here in this, in the ether, you know, before the physical ailments start. Somebody who rushes around doing lots of things. That's me. Yeah, but if you rush around too like a headless chicken, you'll lose a sense of fulfillment. Here it's following the labyrinth and finding, anyway, we're going into these cards further on, but it's finding that fulfillment. So it's the creative energy finding fulfillment. That's how I was wanting to see it. You know, that's the positive side I'm wanting to embed into here. So I put it as it's being fed in, if you see what I mean, that sense of the labyrinth is being fed into my inner soul. So yeah, I just literally had a good time with it. And did I like this image? Yeah, I thought it was a tiny bit dark, it's sludgy. Anyway, so that was that one. And I left it for a bit and I let it gestate. Then I thought, oh God, I'm still not dealing with this really very well. So I'd like to get the tripod really embedded in the different kind of main areas of my body, the third eye, the heart center point, and the creativity in the ombligo and the umbilical cord. So then I did this other mandala, and I also wanted to get the actual physical me in now. So I drew this person, and I wanted to, actually that's another mandala I've added in again, but that's for grounding. And actually when you look at the tripod, it's extremely grounded. It's not running around like a headless chicken. So I think there was a warning sign here. And I think people would agree, wouldn't they? Anyway, so I needed to ground myself. So I did this mandala where I put the little tripod, golden tripod. And I'm reminding myself here, you know what you're doing, you've got vision, you connect with your heart, and you connect with your creativity. And it's calming down now, and I'm loving the colours now. We're getting far more, I don't know, there's more light there. I think you can see that. It's lovely. Okay, so did I do anything else there? No, I started going off on a tangent then. This was fun because I did have it all ready for you. And then I thought, oh, there was a time when I was feeling a bit kind of, it was going up and down and I wasn't getting it totally. So I thought I need all this yellow energy. Yellow for me is about power. It's the colour of the third chakra. So I just did a very quick sketch. And I just put myself kind of jumping up and down, getting this power into the body and appropriating it actually. You know, it's mine, it's my emblem, I need this, I have this, I want this, I am this, you know. I've got this power. I can be a powerful person. It's okay. So yeah, I quite like that. And then I thought, no, I want to be more sitting down in it, you know. And actually I really love this one. I think this was the one, I did it and then almost just chucked it away and didn't look at it. But by then, the energy had actually gone in because I feel a lot more in this place now. And this I would say is my absolute number one favourite one. So it's all about feeling financially independent, knowing that my needs and desires are being met, clearly expressing myself, you know, loving what I do, being that warrior woman, and knowing that I'm good enough and I don't have to keep learning stuff, that I've got enough in myself just to be and to share for whoever wants to. I mean, if it's two people, which it mostly is, but anyway, you never know. That's okay. So this is me on my warrior path, being me. And then another way I mentioned earlier is you can make it into kind of like an emblem, like people have signet rings in families, or you have a crest, and I don't mean to be that kind of facetious kind of thing, but it's more the idea of having something that you can come back to, and that the Navajo Indians and the Cherokees, all of them, they have they make shields for each person. And they are made to make them, or they're given them at a certain rite of passage. And the shields will have their particular gifts, who they are. So I don't know why I drew this, and first of all it had lots of different colours, it was a bit rainbowish, and then, I don't know, I just didn't connect with it. And then I thought, actually and that's why I put this on, my favourite colour is blue, and blue chakra is very much about imparting your ideas, almost like a school teacher. That kind of singing, I love singing, kind of creativity and being in the void and being able to wait for things to happen. And that is my colour, motherly, very motherly. It's that's particularly that chakra. So I then washed it with blue. So I like the idea that it's got all the colours underneath, but it's got this blue, and I think that is quite reminiscent. I can see the energies. You can actually see them now, can't you? That I am. This is my ray that I bring. My emblazonment into life. My genome, who I am. Another type of, the mixture of the who's. Okay. So yeah, I just thought that was fun to share you all those little pathways, and it's actually it's a seemingly simple one, that one, but you can do loads with it, and that does show you also with the use of the cards and everything how I kind of integrate them, and also the vision board, and I will say it's working, because I am gathering my self-esteem, standing on my own 2 feet, and getting out into the world. So So the next one we're going to look at, this has been still quite a long video, is the voice of life and harmony. So that's really exciting. That's a fungus, but it's actually the next one, okay? This lovely spiral. So we'll look at that next week. Anyway, good luck with this week. Bye.